Greetings, I'm Tim of Govberg, and welcome to the world of Vacheron Constantin. Today, I'll be your guide to the Historique Triple Calendar 1942. This timepiece, an homage to the great reference 4240 of 1942, pays tribute to Vacheron Constantin's history of complications, high style, and immaculate fit and finish, with modern standards of engineering, materials, and assembly precision. Now, the watch has the iconic Vacheron Constantin Maltese cross logo inset within a fully polished and low-profile traditional stainless steel pin buckle, making for easy adjustability. Now, this variant, which features dark blue highlights about its dial, has a matching blue alligator leather strap moderately bolstered down its center with folded edges and a monotone stitch. It gives way to perhaps the most iconic portion of this watch's design, the famed claw lugs. In vintage fashion, they have both charm and presence, being visually distinct from the triple gadroon striations of the caseband, emblematic of the transition from the Art Deco era to the era of classical modernism. They're a beautiful statement of historical precision, craft art, and of course the romance of the Vacheron Constantin name. Now, they give way to the striations of the gadroons, which, unlike the rounded compound curvatures of the claw lugs, is beautifully straight, strong, and true. Horizontal across the caseband, you have the creases of the gadroon edges with the sensuous curves of their rounded flanks, and you can see that to great advantage in profile. Moving from the flanks to the top, you can see that the sapphire is no longer the vintage-style plexiglass, although some of its domed effect has been recreated with a cambered or box section sapphire. So sapphire, far more scratch resistant than plexiglass, nevertheless domed to create that bubble-like aesthetic that collectors love from the vintage era. Now, moving inboard of the bezel and the sapphire, also note the predominance of the dial in relation to the slim, almost halo-like bezel of the watch. The dial features a silver opaline center with an outboard radial date. Now, you can see the date in dark blue, one of several features of this watch that is dark blue in this variant, including the day disc, the month disc, and the radial date. Now, the watch is beautifully accented by a combination of off-white, silver, white, red, and blue. Easy to view at a glance, this is the consummate everyday complication. The triple calendar allowing you to date correspondence, emails, letters, and of course refer to the correct day for bankings and appointments. And with the triple calendar complication, Vacheron Constantin delivers a watch that is both sporty and at the same time highly functional. A watch that's equally at home perhaps on the boardwalk or in the boardroom, that versatility born of the fact that at 40 millimeters in stainless steel and only 10.35 millimeters thick, this is a watch that wears easily with short sleeves but also comfortably under a dress cuff. The Arabic numerals in a highly stylized late Art Deco form dot the outer circumference of the inner dial, which you can see features delicately stepped apertures flowing down to the day and the month disc, with a discreet hand-applied white gold Vacheron Constantin Maltese cross icon at 12 o'clock. The hands are richly blued in steel to contrast over the off-white opaline center of the dial. Highly functional, it's also highly refined. On the case back, you can see the Vacheron Constantin manual wind manufacturer caliber 4400/1. It also features the initials Q and C, as per its subsidiary functions of seconds and full calendar, and you'll note the level of finish Geneva Hallmark, but not just on the movement, as you can see adjacent to the ratchet wheel and the crown wheel, but also on the case itself, as since 2012 the Geneva Hallmark has been the ultimate imprimatur of Geneva fit and finish, not just for the movement as tradition had dictated, but for the entire assembled watch. Now, you'll also note traditional finishing at the highest level. You can see the horizontal striations of the Côte de Genève waves beautifully aligned across bridges, as well as the balance cock. The mirrored anglage along the edge of each bridge, you can see rounded by hand. It is true anglage, not by a mechanical file, not by motorized companion, but by hand, by several layers of diminishing abrasion, ultimately to the point of mirrored optical clarity. You'll also note every screw head polished, mirrored with a chamfered slot. The screws themselves require hours to create and finish. Now you'll also note a traditional double-screwed cap atop the stud holder, Geneva style, and beneath a subtle engine turning of the base plate, leaving no surface unfinished, and essentially no stone unturned. Now you'll also note that the watch features the versatility of steel with a classical style that is unrivaled. Vacheron Constantin getting back in touch with a period when steel watches were more common because of the scarcity born of the Second World War. Now you can revisit that period without any compromise in style, fit, finish, or reliability. You can see this modern homage to the Historiques triple calendar 1942's inspiration, the reference 4240, on our website, govbergwatches.com.